If I need to pick the most overlooked thing when it comes down to mixing, that's gonna be phase alignment. And I get it, it's hard to think of music with a little bit of science, but once you start taking care of phase, your mixes will become way powerful and cleaner. There is variety of different techniques. Slower, faster, more or less advanced, but let's face it, you're here to enjoy the process, not to study physics. That's why we made Fuser the way it is. I will show you some of its phase-specified features, but first, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, let me explain it as simple and clear as possible. All sounds you make, use and hear are waveforms. They look different from one to another, but once you zoom in enough, they have a very similar cycle. This cycle is called phase. If two sound waves align by sharing the same cycle, it results in fuller sound. But once they start to cancel each other's cycles, everything starts to sound hollow and, in a worst case, it's effective to the point that your noise-cancelling headphones utilize phase cancellation by flipping the phase of the sounds from the outside. Sometimes it's hard to identify phase issues, especially if they are not as dramatic as complete cancellation. The easy way to check and compare is by using any utility device which has an option to flip the phase. Leading to more visual hints, an oscilloscope of your choice is a no-brainer. Even better if it has an option to view many signals at once. Finally, if you train your ears well, you will definitely hear weird amplitude changes and hollow areas, just like in this example. From now on, I'm gonna use kick and bass, since it will be easier for you to hear all the issues and fixes, but just remember that phase cancellation and phase alignment also works for any other instruments in your mix. Now, this example is pretty brutal, but I wanted to accentuate the worst possible scenario: phase randomization. Majority of modern synthesizers have this option. It's cool for some crazy sound design, but if you look for a solid and clean mix, turn it down to 0. It ensures that every note will start to play from the same phase spot. Now, if you're looking for one-stop shop to fix any phase issues, Fuser is a great option to try. Obviously, it has way more features, just like our other plugins, which I consistently highlight on this channel. Before I move to phase-specific tips, make sure to click that subscribe button to stay updated about mixing and mastering tips. This knob here is basically all you need to avoid phase cancellation. It has two modes: rotate and match. Phase rotate allows you to manually adjust the phase of a track by 180 degrees. This manual adjustment is crucial when you need to align tracks that are slightly out of phase. It works best for layering similar sounds, since you can get really precise with it. Going back to my kick and bass example, it's nearly impossible to match the phase of those two every single time. That's because of the note change, the length of the bass, and where kicks are placed. That's why the better solution is to use phase fix button here. It not only saves you time dealing with manual mode, but also allows for the most optimal phase rotation with minimal cancellation. Now, phase match mode can be quite destructive for the overall quality, so you need to use it gently and with a purpose in mind. It analyzes and automatically adjusts the phase relationship, and then you can decide the percentage of this effect. It's also frequency specific, and a cool trick I like to do is to target the conflicting frequencies and play with match percentage. It works like resolving frequency conflicts, but instead of cutting frequencies dynamically, it blends the synth and vocal chop into one instrument. And if you ask me, it's a really cool effect for sound design as well. And that actually brings me to the point that you shouldn't be perfect all the time. You can use phase creatively as well. For example, here, I placed Fuser on hi-hats, routed it to ride and cymbal, and once I start to play with match amount, it adds an interesting movement and tonal change to hi-hats. You can also automate the face and subtly shift it before the main part of your arrangement, like drop or chorus. Either if you look for a total control over your face, or you just want to fix it at no time, check the links in the description to try out Fuser for free. And if you want more tips on some other features of it, I think this video will be perfect for that.